Preview. Oh, there it is. We're live, baby. Miley and Kevin here. Life22. So this is part of All Family August. You hear that noise in the background? I don't know if you can. We're just trying to figure this shit out. So you hear that noise in the background, and if you don't, it's a generator running. And this is how we defend ourselves on All Family August. Because one of the things I brought up in the other night's episode was defend your family, right? That's part of All Family August. Is to be part of a family, be part of a community. Right, Lachlan? What? Anyways, we have a big family, right? There's 4 kids, 2 adults. Miley's halfway to an adultship. What?
I'm
two and a half years away from being an adult. So the government says. Anyways, I wasn't an adult until like 2 years ago. But regardless, yeah. Well, so anyways, we have been doing this thing with all of our neighbors, coming together as a community to stop this nonsense, right? So we should switch the camera. Let's walk and talk, Miley.
Okay.
So as we get closer to this noise is from the generator running from our grubby squatter neighbors. I don't know if you'd call them neighbors, because neighbors usually move into your neighborhood. These people are like, well, these people moved in like cancer. So switching over. Miley, give me a little light. There we go. Perfect. So right now, our neighbors, who are so sweet and sincere, they got their electric shut off and switched, and so maybe I will just show you what we're talking about, because you may not be able to hear it. And then, oh, you see that blinking red light? Oh, that's my favorite. My fave. All right, we're back. So we just walked through.
Oh, you probably lost Wi-Fi connection.
Probably did.
Hold on. DLC.
We're back? There we are.
There we go.
We lost Wi-Fi connection. My house Wi-Fi is pretty powerful. Kind of. Wow, I'm liking the new haircut.
You like the new haircut that I gave you?
Yeah. No, I'm talking about this.
Oh.
I have a hat on because I had a bad hairdo.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, huh? Well, no. Today I took a shower and I slept wrong last night, and then it went bananas. But so, anyways, this house next door has lost their power, right? I don't know if they didn't pay their bill or whatever. It got switched to their landlord's name, and then the landlord was like, "I don't have anybody living at this building. Like, what's going on?" And the electric company was like, "Oh, we don't have anything on file. You're supposed to produce a lease. It's required. New York State requires you to produce a lease and give it to the utility company. That's why our water department locally is required to collect a lease, right? The NYSEG, or the gas company in our area, our division, National Fuel on the other side of town. Anyways, the gas company requires you to have a lease in order to put electric in your name, or gas in your name. If you sell a building, you're required to show the building sale. Like, if you're like, I'm the new owner, they're not supposed to switch it right into your name because you say that you're the owner. They're supposed to do all these different things. Well, they didn't do that. Guess what? Go figure, right? Nobody can find any good workers nowadays, and they didn't. So now these people, like, they've red flagged this account, and they can't produce a lease. They can't do this. They can't do that. They probably still can't pay the bill. They pretended to be the landlord to have the electricity turned back on in their name. The landlord's name is kind of like masculine, feminine, right? So like we harass Jess all the time, because if you're a girl and pretend to be Jess, and Jess is a guy, then you can easily be duped into.
A word?
I don't know. It's been a long day. I've been up since 6 a.m. But you can easily be duped into being the landlord. And then they called the number on file, and they're like, "We'll put you on hold, ma'am." And they called, and they got the landlord. And sure enough, the landlord answers the phone and like, You're Jess? A man? Oh. Huh. Now, utility company assumed his gender, of course, right? We won't get into that. But All this nonsense, anyways. But so, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, like what is bro doing? Can you go get his phone?
Oh, a construction truck. Well, you know what? Hey,
YOLO, I guess.
I guess. What I mean, but if you're working, right?
Right.
Like, yeah, hey, I'm not gonna fault the dude for working, because that's very far and few between nowadays. But, so you go over here. Now they don't have their electric on, and then they run a generator. They plug into the existing house power. You're not supposed to do that without a transfer switch. So we're learning all this stuff. Like, these people are running a generator without without house power, or without a transfer switch. So what happens is, like, if the utility guy goes to work on the main, shutting it off at the transformer, he could get electrocuted and die. If they turn their power back on for some reason, like, they could do some serious, like, there could be some wonky stuff going on with that generator. Like, you pretty much you run it back. Like, there's a bunch of stuff like frequency and harmonics with that. I'm not going to get into it. It's one of those things. Like, they shouldn't be running a generator off their house. Secondly, you don't have power. They had it on their porch up until a week ago, when we kept insisting they at least when we call the police department, they should call the fire department, because there's carbon monoxide billowing under the pavilion of their porch. These people also harbored a fugitive for over a month. There was a guy who was menacing our neighborhood. It's just been nonstop. And this is where we defend our families. And you know who's going to be the first people that go to jail in a situation like this? It's going to be us. Because we're going to be like, hey, stop throwing needles into my kid's playground. I asked them to stop throwing garbage out the window. They told me to go F myself. And then they threw spoons and needles out into my kid's playground. I pound on the door. They called the police because I was menacing. Who's going to go to jail? It's going to be me. But you can shoot heroin and throw it out the window. Welcome to New York, baby. Welcome to New York, baby. Look what you've done to me. And in the last 48 hours, I want to say our homeless population has spiked, or some new drug has come around, because they are wandering around, like, out in the open, like, dancing, doing their, this is like if you took World War Z, the Brad Pitt movie, and you just took that first, like, opening scene where the zombies are attacking real quick, and you drag it out over 6 months. That's what's happening to our communities. They're going around and they're biting people, and it's taking a hot minute, and then they're, like, biting more people. They're biting more people. I wouldn't be surprised if it makes its way up to the higher echelon. But I'm a taxpayer. I'm a family man. I'm a community member. We've got 6 neighbors here every night hanging out with us until the noise ordinance can shut that thing off. Which, it's Friday night, so we got 2 more hours of this, because it's about 9:10. So in an hour and 50 minutes, they'll be required to shut it off. Yet backfeeding their house's power, still, like, they shut it off the first night when the utility company came. It shouldn't be about noise ordinances. It should be about code and safety. The fire department should have been here. If I ran a generator off the front of my house and it wasn't more than 50 feet away, I'd be getting an appearance ticket. These people have been doing this for over 3 weeks now. They get on their drug buses every week. And I know that the current claim on this is that you can go, it's 3... I know the current claim on this is they only get $300 a week instead of 7. They get 7 take home. 7 take home. I have friends that work in the county buildings and stuff like that, and they will validate the fact that this money is not, because it's a government subsidy and it's for medical purposes. It's like SSI, and it does not count, or some bullshit that they feed you. It doesn't count towards their household income. So now they're considered making 0. They don't have to work for a living because they have a medical condition, but yet they get $700 a week take home.
Ridiculous.
They still qualify for food stamps, Medicaid, and housing assistance because they don't have an income. Their income is considered 0. That is the... Oh, it got knocked down to 300. I don't give a shit. I, like, I'm a technician. I have to diagnose problems with mechanics, things that like I feel like I donate my time to the city for what I do. For my job, like being an HVAC technician, I'm being constantly poached by other people, and I don't take it because I give back to my community. Because other places are trying to offer me $95,000 a year to go do what I do, and I don't do it because I work here in the city. That's it. I want to work in my community. I want to give back to my community. I have to work hard at all my other ventures in my off hours to be able to provide my family more because I'm giving back. And that's what irks me is that these people get a take home. If it's still 700, they have a take home of what I have a take home of after my insurance, after my withholding. All these other things, they get that free and clear, no withholding, no nothing. They get $700 a week, no nothing withheld. It doesn't count as their income. So, oh yeah, if they happen to have a kid, which these people had a kid, and guess what? It tested for methadone. Well, I mean, they're prescribed methadone. But you'd think that that shit would, or they piss dirty, or whatever. But it shouldn't matter. Let's talk about the fact that we've actually talked to a few people, and I'm going to get some people on the show. This is what really irks me. We're going to get some people on the show that actually tell you what you will see at the Buffalo Methadone Clinic. You walk outside, there's dealers up and down the street. Nobody's doing nothing about it. So those people get out, and they got their $700 of cash. You know why they can't pay their rent? You know why they can't pay their utility bills? You know why they can't pay this? You know why they can't pay that? When they make as much money as me, I work 40 hours a week. I bust my ass. I bend over backwards. I do so much. And I'm a small business owner, so I work another 80 hours on top of that and try to be a father of 4. Like, this is what frustrates me. This is what frustrates me. Is because most people work 40 hours a week and then they can go home and be a parent. Like, I don't get to, because I have to subsidize other people, because I have to bust my ass and work hard because somebody else is taking my tax dollars and dumping it into other families. People I don't have to support. If I want to support them, guess what? That's on me. That's my choice. That's what churches were for. That's what volunteer work was for. That's what all that stuff was for. And all of a sudden, look at these people. You find a generator because your electric got shut off. You can afford the gasoline to go into a generator because you can't afford your electric bill. That's priorities. That isn't you can't survive because they can afford that gas. They're not getting donations for gas. The church ain't coming here donating gas. Passerbyers aren't taking their panhandle money and putting gas in it. No. You know what they're doing? They're survivors. I was talking to a friend tonight about this. This is why, like, social programs, Medicaid, food stamps, things like that almost don't need to exist, because people like this will show you that humans are resilient. We are just as strong, if not stronger, than cockroaches. No matter what happens, we will survive. And so you cut somebody's food stamps off, guess what? They ain't starving to death. They aren't doing that. They're going to come up with some other way to get their shit done. And whether it's something stupid like a fix. And I apologize my language, Miley, because I've been swearing a whole bunch right in your ear, and you're 15 years old. This is what grinds my gears. Is that generator's flywheel. Now, somebody's going to come on there and tell me that there's no such thing as a flywheel on a generator, right? Well, trying to make a mechanism joke. Anyways, that's what pisses me off, is this. Guys like me will bust their ass just to get shit on. Just to get my family shit on. My kids are sounding like they're having a blast now, but there's no reason that they should be, like, the Common Council supported a move so people can't smoke in the park. You know, the fumes coming off that generator are like 10 times worse than any cigarette that the kid might pass by somebody smoking, secondhand smoke. There's no evidence on that, but there is evidence that says that the emissions coming off a vehicle or a gas-powered engine shouldn't be near your kids. Now listen, I'm a big gas-loving guy. I love it. But if they're making people not smoke in the park, but my kids have to play next to a generator running, like, come on. There's a million different reasons why that generator shouldn't be running. There's a million different reasons why most of these scumbags shouldn't be living in our fucking areas. Sorry, Miley. I'm just worked up. Because it is for real. We have families we're trying to raise with values around here. And If the worst value I'm passing out to my kids is my language, it's better than the example that my neighbors are giving, that it's a legitimate thing. And I'm so glad that my community has come around and started coming around, and our kids are starting to meet one another, and we're starting to bring each other back as a community. And I guess that would be the only value I could give these grubs. And there's the missus right now on the phone with the police department. This is ridiculous. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we will have a lot more of these videos because guess what, baby? It's All Family August, and we are down for our family. Promoting values on this channel, promoting all that we can. Much love.
Hooray! That's funny.